Hey, I'm Carrie. Welcome back to my channel. I'm carrieblogger on Fiverr and it is Freelance Friday. I make a Freelance Friday video every single Friday that releases at 10 a.m. PST, a review on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then also usually, I'm gonna see if I can keep it up, some kind of a personal video about my life as a freelancer and how I spend my free flexible time on Thursdays. So lots of stuff happening on the channel. I'm so excited to keep growing. Be sure to click the subscribe button if you like this video for updates. Thank you so much to my 50 subscribers that I now have, which seems like a super tiny little detail, but I'm so happy and proud of that. And it's just like encouraging me to keep creating content, which is so much fun for me and hopefully fun for you. So thanks again for your support. Welcome if you're new, welcome back if you're not. Really appreciate having you here. In today's video, I'm going to talk a little bit about what I do specifically. I've talked more about who I am, what my personality is, how I got into it, what I call myself, all that good stuff. And in this video, I'm going to show you kind of a peek into a work week in my life. Yeah, all the words are there. Yeah. So here's what that looks like. This is all of the projects that I've done for the past week. And I work on such a huge variety of work and it kind of changes. Sometimes different services that I offer are a little more popular than others and it just kind of fluctuates like that. So this week was a very writing dominated week of work and primarily with product descriptions, which is kind of one of my big categories and it's one of my favorite categories, but just kind of a big mash of stuff, as you'll see. So if you're ever curious what it actually looks like to be a freelance copywriter working on a huge range of projects with a huge range of clients from around the world, this is what it looks like. So in no particular order, here's what I did this week. I wrote a blog about Norman Lewis, who was a Black abstract expressionist painter in around the 1930s to 1970s. He died in 1979. And that was specifically about an untitled painting from 1973 that was recently discovered. And it was kind of a critical look at what the construction of the painting was, what his motivations might have been, and kind of a critical art take, which I'm not an art expert, but I did my research and I learned a lot. So I thought that was super fun and really interesting. I also wrote a blog about a new fashion styling college that will soon be available. So you can get a fashion styling degree online. And that blog was specifically centered around the future of fashion and how things like sustainability and non-conforming gender identity are turning kind of the tide in the fashion industry. I also wrote an email for a digital artist in the Fremont area who is writing to prospective coffee shops to display and then sell their artwork. It's true, you do need a way to reach out to prospective clients, people, locations to display your work. I also wrote an email series for a nonprofit in Georgia that is going to launch in December, and they are the first nonprofit in the state of Georgia that is specifically helping middle-class working Americans. And I did not know until I wrote that blog or email series that approximately 50% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, and those are people who have full-time working jobs. But the rate of inflation has not been countered by wage increase, and 50% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. And so this unique nonprofit is specifically helping middle-class Americans who need a buffer and a little bit of financial assistance to bridge the gap in case there's something like a medical emergency, a housing emergency, car breakdown, whatever, that you need a little bit of help to get across that because we don't all have an emergency fund for that. A really interesting, very important nonprofit mission. I also did a review of stainless steel tumblers. Let me get it. And that will be posted soon in a couple of weeks. I also wrote an explanation about a fashion brand's sustainable packaging. So one of their steps to take is using recycled and BPA-free, plastic-free packaging that has been reused. So they needed a little information to be like, hey, your package is a little ugly, but that's for a reason, that's eco-friendly. Competitor analyses was another thing, and that was for an international real estate company that is in Spain on some kind of coast, somewhere in Spain. They're a specific real estate company. And that was competitor analysis number 9. I had done 3, they asked for 3 more, I added 3 more, they asked for 3 more, and then we created a whole nother order for it. And they were very interested in my very critical thoughts on basically everyone else's failure in their industry. I also did branding for a Pilates studio that was rebranding from a franchise and going off on their own as an independent organization. My hand looks terrible holding my phone. Is that cuter? Is that weird? And then here's the list of product descriptions that I did this week, a ton of them, and definitely varying industries. First was first on my list right here. Baby footprint kit, so clay that you put your baby's foot in and then it dries, so you have a measurement forever. How cute. An LED anti-aging therapy wand, which looks like this thing that I'm putting in here right now. An LED face and neck therapy mask, which I actually wrote a description for an almost identical product last week, like that. An LED hair regrowth hat, so you can put it on your head and it will help regrow your hair and prevent hair loss. A USB milk warmer, which is adorable, and you wrap it around the bottle and it heats it up. A dog paw washer, which I actually have another order currently for that I'm gonna do this week that is the same product. Funny. A rice cooker that has a really cool saute then simmer technology, which you can make one-pot meals in a rice cooker. Several really, really pretty crystal jewelry pieces. Like, I want to buy so many of them now that I got to look at them and really describe them in detail. They're so pretty. And then also some more plated jewelry. This is specifically gold-plated jewelry for a brand that uniquely is balancing spirituality and hustling is their kind of like style definition. Then these were pretty not my personal style, but I dig it. There was a fold-up camping hammock and a very intense-looking survival knife, a tactical axe, a tactical shovel, and then a tough hiking shoe, which I actually wrote this exact product description last week or the week before. Same product, different sellers. And then 5 little adorable baby baptism dresses that were handmade by a seller on Etsy that are gonna list pretty soon. And then this took a lot of research on my part. There were 2 horse curb chain descriptions. Before writing this, did I know anything about equine accessories and tack? I think it's called tack, horse tack. No. Now I know a little bit. The horse curb chain is the thing that crosses under their neck so that the bridle doesn't get pulled the bit doesn't get pulled too far back in their mouth and be uncomfortable. Learned that. And 2 horse harness tie downs, which when I first started writing it and researching, I thought that a tie down was the thing you would like tie your horse to a pole. You know, like the Wild West, you like wrap it around the pole while you go in the saloon. Not true. This tie down is actually so that the horse can not lift their head too high and you can control their stopping motion better. And then I also wrote a description for one ear horse harness, which goes around their head and then to the bit, maybe bridle, I think is the right word, I don't know, but it wraps once around their ear. And it has a quick change, curb, cheek, whatever. I wrote it, I learned some stuff. I'm not a horse equine expert yet. And then last but not least on my list of random stuff I wrote for this week were 5 adorable knot pillows that were inspired by Nordic knots, and they are stunning. It was really pretty and kind of fun to write for. So that's what I did this week. Lots of random stuff, learned quite a lot. I will definitely forget most of it by next week when I learn even more random stuff for my work. But that's a look inside what it looks like as a freelance copywriter. Again, I work on Fiverr Pro as a copywriter and I work with brands all around the world. If you're interested in working with me, I have my link down below in the description. If you're just here for random career facts and a look inside my life as a non-traditional worker, you're welcome too. This is all for you. So again, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up and click the subscribe button down here wherever it is. I so appreciate it, and I look forward to creating more content for you very soon. Thanks. Oh, and any 2-set fans in the house, got my 2-set apparel on. Tell Brett and Eddie I say hi.